Okay, guys, this is Battlefield 4 Dragon Valley Lantern Solver for the Dice LA Camo Easter egg. And what you need to do first is you need to have a server that is unranked on normal. You also need to download the Battlefield 4 Lantern Solver version 13 onto an Android device from the Google Play Store. There's not a iOS or Windows version that you could get. So you need to get a hold of a Android device, tablet or phone. All right. The first thing that you want to do is take H. You're going to need this objective so that you can redeploy here. You're going to be constantly coming back to H. Also, you need to come in as a recon with a radio beacon. As you can see, I am right now. Now, you need to make sure that there's nobody else in your server. The server can't start or stop during this. So if somebody comes in like I have right now, I'm going to have to, I'm afraid, kick them. I don't want the server to start, and we don't want the server to start because it'll screw up the lanterns. They'll have to restart the switches every time. Okay, so what we start here is you need to count from 1 through 20 and to get the initial state. Lantern 1 is right here in the corner. You can see Bravo's here, Alpha's here, so this is the northwest corner. And so you count your initial state, and you start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7's in the corner. 8, 9, 10 is on. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is on. So 10 and 20 are on. We need to write that down. That's the initial state, okay? The first lantern switch that you want to hit is over here, and it's called Shrine. Now it's important every time to turn the switch on, then to go, you'll redeploy wherever you're at. Go back, count the lanterns that are on, starting at 1. You can see there's different lanterns this time. Okay, so 1's off, 2's off, 3's off, 4's on, 5's off, 6's off, 7's off, and so on. 8's on. Now you count those, and all the way through 20. 20 is the last one over here, so you go all the way around. So 19 or 20 are on, and make sure you count them correctly. So the best way to do that is to count out loud and write it down on paper. But you want to put that into the Battlefield 4 Lantern Solver. Okay. Then you have to return. Every time you push the button, you have to return and shut them off, and then it goes back to the initial state. You can't forget to go back to the initial state, or it'll mess it up. All the switches will have to restart again, and you'll have to restart the game. If you do mess it up, you need to leave the server and come back in to restart it. Everybody has to leave so the server will restart. Okay, so that was the first switch. The second switch is called Tree. Now, the most efficient way to do this is with 3 people. Now, that's 1 person at H, counting the lanterns as they change, checking to make sure that you switched the lanterns back, and running the program. A second player is the pilot of the attack helicopter, who can pick you up and drop you off, so you don't have to use the radio beacon. If you do that, you can do this really quickly. Okay, so tree is the second switch. You're going to look for a dead tree here in between A and B. Okay, there's only one dead tree. You want to cut that down. It's important. You're not going to be able to get at it unless you cut it down. Then Jump here. Oh, it'd be cool if my helicopter stayed right there, but it's not gonna. Up here, and you will see the switch. And you're gonna turn the switch on. Set up your radio beacon. And then redeploy on H. Count the changed lights. Enter that into tree on the Battlefield 4 lantern solver. Return back here using your radio beacon and turn the switch back off. Have to turn it off. Okay, the next switch is over at C. And it's called Furnace. We'll take a jet over there. If you like my paint job, that's called the Phantom paint job. You get that by doing the Phantom Operative program. So I'm going to jump out a little bit high here so that you can see where we're going. Make sure I get inbounds before I die. Yeah, that was a close one. Okay, so back, you can see all of C here. The back cabin right here is where we're going to go. Can't cut my chute like Battlefield 2042 or COD, but we'll get there. I'm going to switch out for my gun. I'll land on the roof here like Santa Claus. Jump down. Okay, and we're going to put our radio beacon out. But always put the radio beacon underneath something. If you put it outside, you'll have to free fall. If you put it inside, you'll instantly redeploy inside. You won't have to go through the free fall process. Okay, so here we go. The furnace is in the back corner of this, the left back corner. As you walk in the door, you want to go down, lay down, come to the corner, and turn and kind of wiggle around until you can see it interact. You want to interact with the button. Go back to H. I'll do it this time just to show you. Redeploy at H. Here I am. Here's the lanterns. We got Alpha, Bravo. Look up. We got ones on, off, twos off, threes off, fours off, fives off, sixes off, sevens off, eights off, nines off, tens on, 11s off, 12s off, 13s off, and so on, all the way around to 20, which is the last one right here. This is on. Put that in the Battlefield 4 lantern solver under Furnace. Redeploy. Then you're going to see, since I put the radio beacon inside, I redeploy inside. I don't have to free fall and go through the parachute animation. Okay. Next, we're going to head to Pier, and we'll take the attack helicopter this time. Like I said before, if you've got a pilot and somebody that's marking, that's writing down the algorithm or the numbers at H, it's quicker, but for the purpose of this, it's you doing it on your own. So put the vehicles on fast deployment, which is at 25% of the normal deployment time, and then you can get the helicopters quicker. Okay. Put your radio beacon down, and to find this one, just make sure that you can see where I'm going here. See the helicopter, there's a first bump. As it comes in here, there's going to be another little cove. You want to look and see where the granite changes colors. So there's one here, one there, go right up to it. Dive down. Button's going to be right in front of you. Put your nose right up to it, it'll let you interact with it. Go through the change that I said. You have to go back and, oh, I'm not going to get my helicopter. Go back, deploy at H, count the switches, and redeploy here and turn it off. Gotta turn it off every time. I can't stress that how much you need to do that, because the it will ruin the whole math process, the whole equation, if you do it and forget to shut off the switch and bring it back to the initial state. Okay, second to last one here is called the Rock. If you look at the stack here in front of me from what I guess is a factory or whatever, it's going to be at the top here. Not a very good landing, but that's all right. Okay, so you got a big rock, a little rock in front of it, and a point on that little rock. You know, lay down, move forward, pull out your gun so you get in a little further, and there it is. I don't know if you guys can see that through the grass, but that's where it is. Again, set out your radio beacon, redeploy here, and then you want to go through. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of lag. You want to go count the switches, come back, shut it off so it's at its initial state, and then go to your next location. And the next one is called Temple, and it's at B. It's gonna be a little bit slower in the transport here, but transport is undervalued vehicle. If you get this full, which I have in another vehicle with infinite ammo, I mean another video that there'll be should be a link to at the end of this one. Infinite ammo and 2 repair guys. This is no way you're gonna take this down. It becomes a airborne battleship. Like I said, that's in another video on how to have infinite ammo, and that's for the gunners on the side, not you. So you want to go to the second level here, jump out, make sure you don't get hit by the tail of the helicopter, which has happened to me many times. Now we're on the second level, and you want to look for the brace here, or whatever you want to call it, stud, girder, the one that points directly at A. Okay, you pull out your gun, lay down, and this is tricky. You're gonna get right to the edge. You see the switch right to the edge, so you're almost falling off. You know, make sure we're laid down, and yeah, almost falling off, and you can interact with the switch. Okay, once you interact with this switch, you're not going to go back to the initial state. Okay, you want to. It's usually it will go back to the initial state, but on this last one it won't. So you want to put this into the Battlefield 4 lantern solver, and then press solve. Now, when you press that, it's either going to give you a set of 3 or 4 switches to hit. Now, you only need to turn them on once. So if it says Temple, Rock, Water, go to Temple, turn the switch on, leave, then go to Rock, turn the switch on, then go to Water and turn the switch on, and you'll hear a beep, beep. If you hear that, that means that you've done things right. Okay. Now, we're going to redeploy at H. If you've done things correctly, see if I can I redeployed in a interesting spot. There we go. Figure out where I am. If you did everything right, like I told you, what's going to happen is all the lights are going to turn on at the temple, at the pagoda, or whatever you want to call this. All of these lights won't be on right here, but the lights that are surrounding this circle, the lights that you've been counting, they will all turn on. Okay, and if you come over here, you'll see a skull. Okay, opposite of that skull, behind where this tree is, you'll see a set of numbers, a keypad that you can put in a code. Now, whoever puts in the code is the one that's going to get the camo at the end. And the code you want to put in is 839-808-00000. So again, that's 839-808 and 5 zeros. You want to hear the beep beep that I was talking about. Now you take the Battlefield 4 problem solver and you will go back to decode Morse. That's the 4th button down on the problem solver, and this light will start blinking. Okay, so that again, where the skull is, the light above it will start blinking. Now you put the Battlefield 4 lantern solver up to this when this light is blinking, and it'll read the Morse code. It says something about a bump in the night, and you need to go to the northwest water tower, and enter this code. And at the end, it'll say your individual code. All right. Now, this is the important part. You need to leave the server. I'm not going to do it because I'm just going to show you where you need to go. But you need to leave the server and turn it to ranked. Now, the ranked server once you get into a ranked server, just going to fly towards A. Having a little bit of a glitch here. Got somebody in my party here. We just gotta. Okay, we're gonna go to A. I hope it don't crash here. And this is the water tower, the northwest side. You need to lay here. And let me just show you where I'm looking. We got A here and the rocks to our back. You need to lay here for 2 minutes and a button will show up. Once that button shows up, you need to stand up and you'll have a keypad. Enter that individual code that you got over at H, where the skull was from solving the lantern. And you will hear the DICE developers screaming actually, promoted, promoted, promoted. Okay, after you've done that, you need to go into another server, an active game. I'm going to redeploy here, show you what you need to do. Every one of your characters, assault, engineer, support, and recon, you're going to have to put the DICE Camo on the first time you use it. See here, the assault camo is different than the engineer camo. Support camo is different than the recon camo. And you need to do that for China, Russia, and US the first time for every time you play like that. And then they'll stay on. All right? Now, if you guys, please subscribe and hit notifications so you can see how to get the Phantom camo here. And the DICE camo. Also, you'll see the Phantom camo here that I have. That's from the Phantom program, and I'll have videos on how to unlock everything. All right, thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.